Hey y'all, it's your girl Coach Kinsley. Today we're going to talk about alcohol's effect on your gains.
Whoa, that might be a pretty interesting one. Would have been really interesting back in the day for me, but I'm ready to go. I'm ready to hear it. Let's get it.
Let's go.
It's Fitness Fix with Coach Kinsley. I'm producer Mike, former client of Coach Kinsley's, senior editor for the podcast, who pushes through every set until I hear
3, 2, 1, let's go! Remember to always consult your physician before starting any nutrition or fitness regimen. So, we can all agree that alcohol affects you, period. And I think all of us can agree that alcohol affects your brain, right? You're going to act different. Can we all agree on that?
1000%. I couldn't agree more. I'd like to agree less, but I have no room. I have no room to talk.
Okay, great. We're on the same page. And let us all also agree that it affects your digestive system, your liver, your kidneys. Can we agree on that too? Right.
Yes. Although I don't get the part where after, having alcohol a little much that I'm just so hungry, and the worst food in the world is that for me at the time, is the best food.
That one probably has to do with the way that it affects your brain because your decision making,
Poor,
so it's impaired. Yeah.
the worst.
So, all that aside, the way that it affects your judgment, the way it could disrupt your life in general, all that aside, we are going to talk about how this is going to disrupt your fitness gains in the gym.
Okay, well, there's many times I've woken up in the morning and going to the gym was probably the last thing on my checklist of things to do. Really just getting up would have been a big accomplishment. So I know we talked about the decision-making portion of having a little too much alcohol, but are there effects of alcohol that can literally affect your body, your functioning, if you think you're gonna crawl out of bed and hit the gym? Are there physical effects to alcohol consumption?
Yeah, alcohol is going to negatively affect your strength and your performance in the short term and the long term. To maintain peak performance in the gym, all alcohol should be avoided. Plain and simple. If we're just gonna, make this black and white, alcohol in the short term and for a consistent long period of time, it's going to negatively affect your performance in the gym.
So alcohol, bad, no alcohol, good when it comes to my journal workout routine. Now, is this at all period 0? Or are we talking like 24 hours or 12 hours or something along those lines? Or should I be knocking back some shots right before I go ahead and hit a PR on my deadlift?
You're so wild. Don't do that.
Okay, that's a
Don't do
no.
that. Right. So it is better to just avoid completely. I'm just telling you the facts. I'm not telling you I do that. But I'm telling you the facts. It is better to avoid it. When you consume alcohol, your body is going to process it exactly like poison. So its goal is going to be to get rid of it, right?
So yeah, you've mentioned this before, Coach, in other episodes that alcohol affects your body like poison. So you're going to share with us what that actually means.
When alcohol is broken down, it's going to be broken down into ethanol. And this is toxic. And so the body's main priority is going to be to metabolize it into something that is less harmful and potentially used for energy.
So there's some positive to this.
No, your body is just doing the best it can with the bad situation.
Okay, it's not making lemonades out of lemons. It's making a sour lemon face and going, all right.
Sure.
So that was a little off the mark. I get what you mean. It's a bad situation. Your body's just doing the best it can to get through it, and let's get out the other side.
Yeah, because your body's main goal is going to be to break that down, it's going to divert all energies and all molecules to breaking it down instead of breaking down carbohydrates or fats for energy. So it's going to be trying to use that up. And also its focus, your body's focus into breaking it down instead of building muscle. Like literally, your body is on emergency mode. This is priority number one. Nothing else matters.
Because certainly I am super low energy when I'm recovering from an evening of a little too much of this and a little too much of that. So yeah, I can definitely feel that.
Right. So I want to get into the ways that it's going to affect your muscle growth.
Yeah, because I put a lot of time into this. I'm not a frolicking college student anymore, but certainly this information is gonna be something interesting to hear. Every now and then, I like a beer or 2. I'll just leave it at that.
And I'm not judging you. I'm
No judge.
just giving you the facts here. I'm actually a part of a run club now, and I like to call it a drinking club because we'll do like a 3-mile run and then have a beer afterwards. So
Good times.
yeah. It's a great
Yeah.
time. Yes, I am having a good time, but my muscles not so much. So all of your molecules, they're being averted to the emergency going on, which is breaking down that poison, right? So how it's going to affect your muscle growth is that this signaling that is required to release amino acids in order to build your muscle is not going to happen. So the alcohol, when it's ingested, it inhibits the signaling pathways that tells your body to build muscle. So your body is like, I don't need to do that right now. That's step number one. Not only does it disrupt the signal, it's going to allow for the activation of molecules that are responsible for muscle wasting. So not only are you not building, you're also losing because of this signaling.
Muscle wasting. I didn't even know that was a thing.
You've heard it in other terms, muscle atrophy, perhaps.
Okay. No, I'm familiar with that.
Right.
And that's something I work really hard to not happen. I see that. Not judging, not
Yeah.
judging, just I see that point.
Right. And then furthermore, the alcohol is going to not only resist this signaling that we need for building, but also induces insulin resistance, which is a stimulator of muscle growth as well, and is responsible for absorbing carbohydrates into the muscles.
Okay, so that's also not a good thing? Not a good thing.
Your body is on high alert trying to get rid of the alcohol in your system. Your protein, your amino acids, they're not being used, they're not being signaled to do what they're supposed to do for sake of muscle growth. And then furthermore, those carbohydrates are not being pulled into your muscles either. Your recovery is going to be impaired on both sides of the spectrum.
Huh. Well, how about that? Doesn't sound good at any point of the evening afterwards.
When you are drinking alcohol, it is really good for you to consume, but especially carbohydrates to kind of like pad your system a little bit. So, all those carbohydrates that you're consuming, they're not being broken down like usual. Don't even get me started on the calories.
Yeah, I don't know, coach. We're already this far into it. This hit us with the bad stuff.
Oh, snap. So, aside from muscle growth not happening, excessive alcohol consumption is going to lead to fat gain because of the excess of calories. Simple math aside, you're probably way over calories. You're in a caloric surplus at the end of your drinking night. That aside, the way that alcohol is broken down, it can metabolize into a byproduct. This molecule is going to enter different energy pathways, one of them being stored energy, aka fat. It's straight up going to form fat, this excess energy that alcohol has been turned into as its safer byproduct.
Even if I'm drinking light beer, coach, does that help? Is that no?
Even if you're drinking light beer, like anything in excess is going to be stored. It's going to be stored. So, and usually, like I said, you're not just drinking alcohol, you're probably drinking alcohol and eating. So, at the end of the day, if you're in a caloric surplus, that surplus is going somewhere, and where it's going is to be stored, aka fat.
Okay, so that
Hmm.
foot-long sub sandwich or a couple of sub sandwiches that I knocked back after the night was probably
No,
not a good idea.
not great.
Not great, not great. All right, I'm with you. All right, let's go.
So, everything in moderation, right? Because, like I just said, too much of anything is going to be stored. Anything in moderation, especially when it comes to alcohol. And the thing about alcohol is like I can't just say like one drink is fine because it depends on your weight, it depends on your height, and it's going to depend on what the drink is. So I'm not going to give you guys advice of like this many drinks and you're safe. So just remember, overall, for peak fitness performance, all alcohol is bad. There is no good here. No judgment either. Now, one last aspect of this that I want to mention is going to be alcohol and cortisol. So we had an episode, Intro to Cortisol. You remember that?
I do.
So, alcohol just straight up increases cortisol levels. So, like we talked about in the Intro to Cortisol episode, if your cortisol levels are elevated for long periods of time, this is going to have negative effects all across the body: blood sugar, metabolism, sleep. You can go listen to the episode. Alcohol too much and too often, you're in for a 1-2 punch. You're not going to get any of those fitness gains. Let me tell you, you are not helping yourself out physically, mentally, emotionally, digestively, all of it.
So if I am stressed and decide to go, after work and knock back a few and a few two more and then, have the Uber guy stop at Taco Bell and, I'm already stressed and now I'm also imbibing and then have the Taco Bell and then the next morning I get up, okay, I'm going to go work out and work all this off. That's actually not happening, is it?
I don't think so. If you are stressed out, really the best thing for you is going to be to work out. You have that excess energy, you'll be able to put it to good use. And we talked about this in the cortisol episode as well. Your fight or flight is usually triggered if you are stressed out. So you do have like excess energy that can be burnt off in the gym. But not only are you burning off the bad, but you're also creating some good. There's going to be endorphins, right, when you work out. So if you are too stressed out, please hit the gym, do some burpees, some push ups, some squats, some full body burners, and probably pray too.
So not burning the alcohol on top of my beer and doing the shot like that, that's not what you're talking about?
Not at all. I'm glad we
No.
can clarify that.
Good, because I was confused for a second. So skip the drinking and eating, go right to the workout, and the next day, things should feel a little better. Okay. Alright. I hear you. Alright, coach. Actually, before, we hit the highlights, I just had a question, about moderation. Don't go in excess. Does that include fish?
Actually, yeah.
Okay. Alright. I can go moderate with fish. I'm willing to do that.
Well, it's like if fish is putting you into caloric surplus, then you're still not in a good place.
Okay. All right. So I can ease up on my fish intake to from like 0 to 0 and
Oh
I'm
my
safe.
goodness.
And I'm safe.
You rascal.
I know. I'm the worst. All right. Hit us with the highlights, coach.
The highlights: to maintain peak performance in the gym, all alcohol should be avoided. Alcohol is going to negatively affect the building of your muscles by disrupting protein synthesis, the signaling for proteins, and then also insulin resistance. And then alcohol is also going to increase your cortisol levels and lead to fat gain. Drink water. Check out our episode, Hydration. Thank you so much for joining us today on Fitness Fix with Coach Kinsley. The fun doesn't need to stop here. Email me at coach@coachkinsley.com. You can check out my webpage, coachkinsley.com, and also find me on Instagram at, you guessed it, Coach Kinsley. Your girl. See you next week. Fitness Fix with Coach Kinsley is a production of Greyhawk Enterprise, LLC.